Hi, I'm Danielle. I'm the founder of The Joyful Edit. Welcome to my channel. This is day 24 of Project 365 and we are currently at Mount Robson, and look at how beautiful it is. It just doesn't really look real. How is like every face just like better and better? It's just amazing. Like, oh, just loving this trip. It's just so cool. And this morning we woke up and we saw a moose. I was like, oh my gosh, I never even thought about the potential of seeing that. So that was just absolutely amazing. And like their antlers are just huge. So I think we've literally ticked off every kind of animal on our Canada trip, which is just incredible. So yeah, our morning has been pretty epic, and like that's the best thing about like waking up so early, is you just get to like have all these places completely to yourself. We've seen like 3 people, which is great because it meant that they could take some photos of us, which was really nice. And also like there was a gentleman that took a photo of Dan and I, and then we saw a couple trying to take some photos and they're kind of struggling, so like paid the favor forward and took some photos of them, which is always nice. So yes, that was good. Having an amazing day. And today I just want to talk to you about communication. And I think like one of the reasons why like Dan and I have such an incredible relationship is because we just have like really honest conversations with one another. And like say if one of us is like really stressed out, or the other one's like doing something that doesn't make the other person necessarily happy, or whatever it could be, like we always kind of have those conversations and just say, look, like right now I just need some extra support, I'm really struggling, or I'm really stressed, and we just talk it through. And it just makes me think, like, you know, I think so many of us have been in a situation where we've been really stressed out, or someone's done something to kind of hurt us and they might not necessarily know it, and I don't think most people like know it. I can't see that most people have that intention. And you know, I think it just makes everything so much better and easier, and the conversations that you end up having are so much like better than you possibly imagine. Like we always think the worst, and actually if you're just honest, like the like anxiety and the stress and the worry literally just like lifts off. And like there's been moments on this trip where, you know, sometimes it's quite stressful and I just like need a little bit more extra support, or vice versa with Dan, and we just like talk to each other about like what each other needs, and we just make sure that we show up for each other. And I think it's so important to do that, like whether it's like the small things or like the big things, you know, like communicating about whether or not you want to have kids, or whether you want to get married, and like how big of a deal that is for you, because that's so important. And I remember like talking to you before in one of the videos that like when Dan and I first got together, we had like a really deep and honest conversation about where we're at. And you know, one of the main worries for most people is money, yet no one really talks about money, and it's such a taboo. And like I'm going to talk about that separately, but that's another thing to like, you know, just be honest and just come from a place of love and support, whether that's you opening up to the other person or the other person opening up to you. Like we're all human, we're all gonna make mistakes, and ultimately we all wanna like make a difference and be good to the people that we really care about. So I just encourage you, if you've got something on your mind, or someone's doing something that actually isn't like sitting right with you, then just have that conversation. I think as long as you do it from a place of love, and it's kind of constructive, and it's not from a place of anger or having like arguments and things like that, that doesn't get anyone anywhere. So I'm just on about like a calm conversation where you're just letting the other person know what you need, and if they're affecting you in any kind of way, just have that conversation. And I can promise you it will go way better than you imagine. Otherwise we just let things fester and we build things up, and we have this internal dialogue that like is absolutely ridiculous, and it's always like in a negative direction rather than in a positive. I don't know why it works out like that, but again, we're working on changing our mindset and changing the way that we wire ourselves. But it's so essential. And I think like, you know, a lot of relationships end because we haven't communicated. We've been fearful of what the other person thinks, or the worst, we assume we know what the other person thinks. And that's so wrong. Like rather than like just assuming and thinking, oh, I know what they mean, or I know what they think, just bloody ask them. It's very, very simple. We massively overcomplicate things. So let's just like get rid of the taboo and let's just be open and honest and raw and vulnerable, because when we do that, then we allow other people in our lives to do exactly the same. And you know, when I've had those conversations, whether it's with friends or family, it always goes so much better. And also it means that my relationships are so much stronger and so much healthier, and I don't build up this resentment and bitterness or anything like that, because I just deal with it and face it head on. And every time I've had that conversation, it's gone so much better than I possibly could have imagined. So yeah, that's what I want to talk to you about today, is just having better communication, most importantly with like your spouse or your partner. And remember that they love you and they want the best for you and they care about you and you're worthy and you are enough. So it's okay to have these conversations. So let's get rid of the fear and let's get rid of, like, you know, the build up of all the resentment and bitterness, and let's just free ourselves from that and just have that conversation and don't worry. So that's what I want to talk to you about today. So if you've got any of those conversations that you need to have, then I hope that I've given you the encouragement to have these conversations and to have faith in yourself and know that things will work out for you, and all for the better. And I hope you also enjoyed this incredible view. I just cannot believe I'm here and that these places actually exist. You know, we just like see it on the movies or in someone else's video. And it's the funny thing is, you all know that I can't edit. That's something I'm working on. So this is not filtered or anything like that. It's just pure. Like, everything you see is what I see. So which I absolutely love, because filters are great, but also no, we don't need filters in life when things look like this. So anyway, I hope you have an amazing day. I am sending you so much love and blessings. Just remember to like and subscribe and share with family and friends, because I'd love to share this content with them and you. And remember to follow me on the joyful_edit, and I will see you again for day 25. Until then, have an awesome day and I will see you soon.